Live from the Bunker Studio in Red Books in the heart of downtown Wexford Town. That's right, it's Tuesday evening, which means it's another exciting edition number 11 of the Red Book Show. And because it's number 11, and we've got over those first 10 episodes and they've been so successful, particularly because of Steve singing, we have a sponsor for tonight's show. So here's a message from our sponsor. Hi, I'm Jeff Bezos, Dark Lord Manine. Have you noticed your town might be dying? Have you noticed increases in anxiety, addiction, and general unhappiness? Well, maybe you should stay indoors and just consume. With new Amazon addiction. That's right, forget community and just consume. That was a message from our sponsor, Jeff Bezos at Amazon. Thanks, Jeff. Really appreciate that fiver. But you're welcome to the Red Book Show. I'm joined in studio as ever by my co-host, a man who has been busy partying for the last week for the first annual Steve Unicky birthday weekend. Steve.
Hey, Wally.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Good. You celebrated your birthday at the weekend?
Yeah. Should I say how many years it's been since I've been alive?
No, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Just guess.
20 odd.
Yeah. I'm 24. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
We're also joined in studio by a very special guest. Liam Reagan is a poet and writer originally from County Laois, whose work has been published in various anthologies, and he has two poetry collections, which we're going to talk about later in the show. And so we're delighted to have Liam here. And we also, of course, have the Director General of Wexford New People's Movement Radio, the big man. What did they call you? Biffo? The lads were calling you? Burgo? Tino Burgo. Tony, Mr. Tony Bergen. So, Steve, will we get straight into the book news?
Let's do it.
Book news.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting one for you, Steve. 9 out of 10 best-selling novels in the UK and Ireland have one thing in common.
What's that?
A woman murder victim.
Oh, Jesus.
There's multiple reasons behind the dead woman trope. Psychologists are saying one reason is controlled threat rehearsal. So they suggest because women are disproportionately targets of real-world violence and coercion, reading these worst-case scenarios acts as an unconscious threat rehearsal.
I have no comment about that.
Well, It's incredible that we live in those times. Market research also shows that women are the largest consumers of crime. As a bookseller, I can see that myself, but then women are the largest consumers of books, I think by a long shot. Yeah. And I have my own theories about that. I was discussing with a customer today. I think women have come to terms with what's happening in the world better than men maybe, and
I think you're right.
They see the need for mindfulness. They see the need for a break from the phones, from technology, and the need to lose yourself in a book a lot more than many of us have.
I think you're right,
and makes them stronger characters. A terrible generalization, of course, but that's what the market research says.
Yeah.
In other news, 5 booksellers have been arrested in Hong Kong for selling so-called seditious material, which the Chinese government is not happy with. Now, this has been an ongoing problem, not just in Hong Kong and China, but around the world. What do you think about this, Steve?
The rise of censorship every day, all over the place.
Yeah, I think it's...
People just don't want to hear or see something that they strongly disagree with.
Yeah,
general problem.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I guess it's unusual for the Chinese government to allow something like this to get out. Usually they move in and...
Usually they practice censorship more quietly and
ruthlessly. They definitely don't want people in the West
reading about things like that.
Yeah. But like you said, this is happening everywhere. There are forms of censorship and book bannings happening in China, but it's also happening in Russia, it's happening in England, it's happening in America. It's a worldwide phenomena, and it's getting worse rather than getting better, which is insane.
Instead of people growing out and reaching out and developing and finding. It's like people just hunkering down, and covering their eyes, covering their ears.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it feels like anyway.
So we'll certainly keep an eye on the situation with those 5 jailed
Yeah.
booksellers in Hong Kong. Some positive news. Matt Haig, the author of best-selling Midnight Library, is opening a bookshop called Golden in Brighton. Now, quite amazing that somebody like Matt Haig, who a very successful author, who has plenty of money, has decided to put his profits into opening a community bookshop, and he's very
That's fantastic.
and he's very assured about this, that it will be a community bookshop. He wants
Yeah.
it to be a place where people can go and experience physical media, but also meet people
talk
with
to
shared
people.
beliefs and
Yeah.
shared.
And even people with other beliefs, just
Yeah.
just talk to other human beings.
A great quote from Matt Haig. My belief, as someone who grew up in a town without a bookshop, is that all communities should have a bookshop, because bookshops save civilization and make life interesting.
True.
So thank you for that, Matt Haig. We're going to have t-shirts made of that, and we'll have Peter outside selling them by August. And that pretty much concludes the book news, Steve, apart from the news of your birthday weekend.
Yeah, I think there weren't many books involved with that, but there were maybe, because I was in a bookshop. So yeah.
So one thing to happen during the week, Steve, is as you know, there's a lot of shows going out on Wexford New People's Movement Radio now. It's hard to keep up to date with them all. I know Tony will run through the schedule later in the show.
Yeah.
But I was a guest on one of the other shows this week.
Yeah, you were.
Jamie Murphy's Come Here, Tell Me This.
So you turned the tables on him, right?
I turned the tables. I was brought in to interview Jamie.
Yeah.
And one thing we were talking about was Jamie's favourite movie is Toy Story. And I introduced him to the concept of Toy Story fan fiction. Now, strangely enough, Jamie wasn't that familiar with fan fiction. And then I spoke to you, and you weren't totally familiar with fan fiction. So I thought maybe we'd run through a bit of fan fiction tonight, because it's something that has had an incredible influence on modern publishing, certainly in 2026. But to start it, I asked you to read a piece of Star Trek fan fiction, which would be from the Slash variety, for anybody listening at home who wants to plug their ears at this point. And you weren't very comfortable doing that, so I'm going to play both characters here.
Okay.
So it's going to be Captain Kirk and Spock. So here we go. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
A first for Wexford New People's Movement Radio. This is from a fan fiction work called Jim Kirk Is Mine. Ah! Jim Kirk cried out. He whipped his head back, his back bowing, and his legs kicking out spastically, as his own body weight forced him down the considerable length of Spock's penis. Spock muffled Jim's mouth with his hand to muffle further cries. Jim, are you aware of what is happening to you and who is doing it to you? Ah! Jim, I am inside you in a way that is physically difficult for an adult human male to take.
I can't tell.
And that, Steve, is a short scene from Jim Kirk Is Mine, a work of fan fiction which will be categorized
that's
as
something
slash.
that now will be unseen. Yeah.
So, but fan fiction, Steve, is something that's been around for a long, long time. Medieval writers often expanded on Arthurian legends. In the 18th century, readers of Gulliver's Travels began writing sequels, and it's here that we got the first erotic spin-offs of famous books that we now consider classics. In 1913, Sybil Brinton published Old Friends and New Fancies, a book that's been pretty much forgotten now, unfortunately, Sybil, except for one thing. It's the first work of Jane Austen fan fiction. And we've had a lot of that. We've had a lot of people writing non-canon Jane Austen books, including in recent years, and there's been some would argue that the Bridgerton books are just could nearly tie into the Austen universe.
Yeah.
Jean Ray's 1966 Wide Sargasso Sea.
I've heard of it.
It's a prequel to Jane Eyre.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess that you're right about that.
But modern fan fiction goes back to Star Trek, and
Yeah,
particularly Star Trek fanzines, which started in 1967. These stories, from the very start, often saw romantic pairings of Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock. And this started the phenomenon known as slash fiction, of which you've just had
been
your ears exposed to.
Yeah.
In 1998, fanfiction.net launched, which really made this thing a global phenomenon. And now people anywhere in the world could write anything they wanted to and just put it up there. And there's never really been a copyright issue with this, because people who write fan fiction don't do it for commercial gain. It's seen as a homage or as just a hobby, really.
Yeah.
So that hasn't really come into it. But there has been a lot of money made out of fan fiction books by simply changing them. E.L. James, for example, you're a big fan of E.L. James.
Yeah.
Wrote 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Grey series. You have them all.
I know. No, I just know about it. Okay.
So 50 Shades of Grey started off as Twilight fan fiction.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, it was very popular on I'm not sure if it was fanfiction.net or one of the others, but it was extremely popular. So popular that E.L. James managed to get an agent who told her to rewrite it, basically. Not much rewriting happened, but change the names.
Yeah.
Cassandra Clare's Mortal Instruments series, also extremely popular and very important for developing young adult genre, started out as Harry Potter fan fiction. But here's the big one. We talked about Romantasy last week and how important it is to the publishing industry at the moment, and why it is driving this huge. It's a huge $1 million business now. We had a Romantasy store opening in Oxford last month.
Yeah,
there's quite a few of them opening in America. It has taken over the entire fantasy bulge, I suppose, and it's now the big thing. But the current boom of Romantasy, heavily focused on relationship dynamics, tropes, and spicy pasting, well, that was incubated in online fandoms on sites like Archive of Our Own and Wattpad, which were basically updates to fanfiction.net. These were fan-inspired works, so they also led to a boom in fans talking about them, which gives us Book Talk, which we also talked about, I believe, the week before last.
Yeah.
So
one thing leads to another.
The big movements in publishing at the moment are because of that little story we read at the start.
Yeah.
So
it's the old story of bubble up, things are just happening from the bottom rather than from the top.
Well, certainly grassroots.
Yeah, grassroots.
You're a writer, Steve, and not just a writer of haikus. You've wrote brilliant prose. You've wrote thought-provoking essays. Have you ever considered writing slash fiction, romantasy?
No.
Is that a hard no?
Yeah, that's a hard no. I just write about other things, I guess.
We'll leave it there. So
yeah.
Well, we may have a bit of music now, I think, Tony. Just to remind you all, you are listening to the Red Book Show on Wexford New People's Movement Radio, and you can send in comments on the chat feature on WNPMR.com. So, we have a couple of messages in already. Let's see. So, Shane says, hello, gang. Pippo says, happy belated birthday, Steve.
Oh, that's very nice.
And are we not ahead of the watershed? That's quite true. Liam Mullen says, I'll be covering some of these repressive regimes in forthcoming editions of Insight, particularly Cuba. Thanks for that, Liam. Look forward to hearing that. Sarah says, I read all the Grey series, even from his point of view series. Pure romantic shite. Big letdown. Yeah, that's quite true, Sarah. So we're going to have a piece of music now, and this is from an epic Wexford band, Corner Boy, and it's called Let You Go.